a broadcast network committed to serving you the very best in online and offline television programming. Situated in the serene environment of Guzape, Abuja FCT, TVN, as it is fondly called, caters to a wide variety of audience via carefully orchestrated mind-blowing programs in the areas of fashion, business, politics, entertainment, religion, movies, food and health, culture and lifestyle, events around the globe, sports and foreign news. Whatever your inclination, we've got you completely covered with programs like Issues of the Moment, The Patriot, Daybreak Nigeria, Matter Africa, TVN Business Time, Healthy Living, From the Cradle, Stay Inspired, Entertainment Gist, Movie Hour, Hits Paradise, among others. All designed to keep you thoroughly informed, entertained, at the edge of your seats and yearning for more. A tour around our domain will reveal a highly dedicated staff force and a state-of-the-art facility and equipment for high-definition quality broadcast, making our station your #1 choice in advertising your business and propagating your ideas. We are currently on NigComSat doing our test transmission for takeoff in the nearest future. Television Nigerian is located in Nigeria at Television Nigerian House, Guzape Hilltop Mansion, beside Guzape White House, Guzape Abuja FCT, and in the United Kingdom at 45 Ancient House, 48 Aerodrome Road, Beaufort Park, Colindale, London. For inquiries,
Daybreak Africa is your one-stop top-notch breakfast show that brings you all the interesting stories happening in and around Africa.
Because we have all the morning essentials,
including the latest news, sports, weather, and events. And of course, the people.
Daybreak Africa on Television Nigerian.
Weekdays, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Nigerian, a broadcast network committed to serving you the very best in online and offline television programming. Situated in the serene environment of Guzape, Abuja FCT, TVN, as it is fondly called, caters to a wide variety of audience via carefully orchestrated mind-blowing programs in the areas of fashion, business, politics, entertainment, religion, movies, food and health, culture and lifestyle, events around the globe, sports and foreign news. Whatever your inclination, we've got you completely covered with programs like Issues of the Moment, The Patriot, Daybreak Nigeria, Matter Africa, TVN Business Time, Healthy Living, From the Cradle, Stay Inspired, Entertainment Gist, Movie Hour, Hits Paradise.
Now the match don't start. Tunde na him first catch coronavirus. Him pass am to Sarah. Sarah go market and she dash Adamu. Adamu carry the virus run come give him children for house. Now so the children carry the virus enter playground. From playground, it can't enter grandpa body. Grandpa take over, pass and give him friends as they shake hand for road. Now so grandpa friends carry coronavirus go their house. Before you know, they don't throw away and give everybody for yard. Now so corona enter box 18 and he say go. My people, If we give coronavirus chance, it go win all of us. Oh. Protect yourself and your family. Stay inside your house and make sure say you dey wash your hand with soap and water at least 12 times a day. If you get cough and fever and it dey hard you to breathe, call 0800 026 7662. Corona dey kill. Make we careful. Oh.
Coronavirus no be our friend, yo. Make we push am comot, yo. Corona, he no be our friend, yo. Say make we push am comot, yo. My country people, you see this coronavirus, no be joke. Make we help ourselves and our government pursue this yamayama sickness from our country. Make we remember to wash our hand every time with soap and water. Make we no forget to sanitize our hand and wear face mask when we dey come out. Also, make we avoid crowd and keep social distancing when we come out. My people, if you see say you don't dey get symptoms, make you rush go hospital make dem treat you. Coronavirus no be our friend though. Make we remember say prevention better pass cure. Coronavirus no be our friend though. Make we push am comot, yo. Corona, he no be our friend. Say make we push am comot, yo.
Daybreak Africa is your one-stop top-notch breakfast show that brings you all the interesting stories happening in and around Africa.
Because we have all the morning essentials,
including the latest news, sports, weather, and events. And of course, the people.
Daybreak Africa on Television Nigerian.
Weekdays, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m.
What a lovely day it is, and it is our great delight and pleasure to welcome you on today's edition of the program, Daybreak Africa on Television Nigeria. My name is Elvis Oga.
And my name is Miss Joe. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, Abuja. I hope we all slept fine.
Good morning, everybody, and then good morning, Miss Joe.
Good morning, my able partner in progress. How was it nice?
Yeah, man, that was splendid.
You're looking really very, very nice this morning.
You know, you actually infected me with good good character.
You hear that, yeah?
It's good. Like, it seems the month of July, on the second chapter of the year, the second phase of the year came with a whole lot of goodies. So I can actually tell that even the weather is conforming to that and all.
All right. On Tuesday of this week, 774 job offer job on the table for public workers, public works, and there was a noise in National Assembly between Keyamo and
that's the Minister of State for Labor and Employment
and
the
lawmakers, and it was like they were going to do a closed door meeting. First of all, that was how it started, and he said he was not going to be involved in any closed door meetings, that anything that they had to do had to be in the open.
You see, I've been actually going through some happenings in national polity at the moment, and I've been seeing several things that has been happening. Okay, we're talking about end power, because one major problem, when you want to talk about challenges facing Nigeria as a country right about now, one of the first few things you might want to mention is after power. You might want to mention unemployment.
Okay.
Yes, you might want to mention unemployment, and then end power, it's actually tilted towards addressing that problem to a certain extent. And then the government of the day have seen that it is important, it is imperative, and it is very, very pertinent to see that they come up with policies and schemes to address the unemployment challenge in the country. And they came up with this. The breakdown is for 1,000 people to be employed across the 774 local governments of the country, which actually what gave rise to the number of 774,000. And there's this devolution of power and then separation of powers between the executive and the legislative, where the executive come up with policies and then they need to forward it to the legislative for some vetting and all. And that was exactly the process that was ongoing before we saw that brawl on Tuesday.
Yes, and then now hearing of suspension.
when the Senate committee actually had to summon the Festus Keyamo to maybe give an insight on what happened, and Festus actually honored their invitation, and when he went, they were supposed to do everything, like do the vetting and everything, but the Senate opted, or the lawmakers rather, the committee opted for a closed-door meeting, and Festus said no. And then his reason he's giving here, he says, for transparency, for everybody to know what's happening.
Yes, what's happening.
that's the reason.
Let everybody, because there were cameras there.
Let
everybody watch and see what is going on there. I think that was when he took his leave.
Yeah, that was when the whole stuff. I saw some part they were talking about throwing mic at him, giving him marching orders, or he walking out.
And then even him
bowing out and everything. But it's not really funny at all, because these are very sensitive issues.
Yeah.
And like both parties, both the executive and the legislature, they, like, in as much as we try to see that, okay, they have the separation of powers, they try to see, they do the balance and check and everything to see that, okay, everything goes fine. But they should, at a time like this, come to work in unity just for the betterment of the country, for the betterment of Nigerians. Because Nigerians are watching, and if it happens this way, Nigerians might really want to try to pick who their enemy is.
Yes,
because
and trying to understand what is actually going on. Why is this happening? Is this not for our good? People, why are they dragging feet on this?
This is a country where we tend to read meanings, political meanings, ethnic meanings, religious meanings to every decision or everything that happens. So, like, the people at the ends of affairs need to tread carefully and cautiously so that Nigerians might not really misinterpret their gesture, their action for another thing.
And I was asking you the other time, I was saying this 774,000 jobs offer that they're saying should be suspended. Is there like a reason why it should be suspended? Is it because of the empire in progress right now? Like, I want to understand, this job is going out to people.
From my research and search so far, I've not really seen it that way, but what I could actually depict from what's been happening, or I think is the lawmakers are actually angered or provoked by a particular comment credited to Festus Keyamo when he said the Senate cannot tell him what to do. So maybe that's actually what the anger is, and I've actually called.
I want to understand, this job is going out to people.
From my research and search so far, it's still having a little, it's not taking the smile away from the faces of Nigerians totally yet, because this is not a cancellation, total cancellation.
But we hope they revisit the matter because it's for the benefit of Nigerians. That's the only thing we should be
definitely
seeing.
They will revisit the matter. This is not the first time we've actually had having back and forth movement between the executive and the legislature. And then when it happens, that even during the 8th Assembly, that the relationship was not that smooth, which is actually very healthy and good for democracy. We see that when there are issues like this, the best they could do is just call both leaders of the National Assembly, both the Senate and the House of Reps, and then they meet the president and the iron things out. When they go back, everybody talk to their...
Because you mentioned something earlier on. You said Keyamo has his own approval to make, and even the House of Representatives, they have their own to make as well. I was saying two people have approvals to make.
Two approval. Because that was what we were actually discussing offset when Panok was talking about. He would have actually gone ahead for the closed-door meeting, because, we are not actually saying it outrightly, but maybe people try to bring in different drama, just to make sure that a particular program does not fly. So if you
probably
notice
there are different inward reasons.
If you notice that, you need to play along and see what they are up to. So that Panok was actually coming from that angle when he said the minister would have actually gone into the closed-door meeting, because they won't force him to do whatever,
to make any decision,
or to do whatever
he will still have to make a decision himself
on his own. And you were learn where the approvals come in is the fact that we know that the whole this thing, because I saw for some quarters they were saying these 1,000 people are going to be paid 20,000 naira monthly. So when you do the math and so I think it has to do with the money that's been allocated for this particular project, this scheme.
That was why I asked, is there like a positive reason why it should be suspended, other than it being because Keyamo was
like I was saying, so they said the project is going to go up about 52.2 billion naira, and
We know that's a lot in this period.
That's a lot in this period, and you cannot actually have access to such fund without the approval of the lawmakers, because they actually need to vet, and that's where the approval comes in. And then the executive, they have come up with this policy, and also like they just need to be checks and balance, regardless of how they want to go about it. So,
and then President Buhari is also saying that public officers should not misuse these opportunities.
You know, we're talking about that, and these are some of the ugly trends we've actually seen in our society these days, where somebody tell you, I can actually give you a recommendation so that you can get a job, and they demand as in humongous, also outrageous.
It's even flying everywhere these days.
Outrageous amount of money. Somebody will tell you, bring 1.5 million naira, and they'll give you a recommendation.
You know, Kwanak was saying something like that before. We say
for different diploma,
700. Who are these people? Don't they know these people? They are within themselves,
you know, if we really want this is a brazen corruption in one way, and if we really want to get things right, this is more like, okay, you just employ people because they know somebody who knows somebody, not knowing if they are capable of doing the jobs.
Minus that, we are even forgetting that there are ghost workers. Some of these jobs, people are not really there, but people are taking the monthly. That is why I don't really find it funny or find it okay at all when people try to oppose the IPPIS system that's actually been put in place to checkmate, and then in collaboration with the BVN, so that some of those corruption in our public sector can actually be wiped out. But you see people, like well-meaning people, educated people, come up to kick against it, and I'll be like, what is their reason for kicking against this thing? If you are not benefiting from this thing, if you really want the nation to move forward, to grow,
why don't you allow the right thing to be done?
Because we have lots of unemployed people. We can't keep seeing situations where people have enough for themselves, but they are greedy enough to still say no. We'll be ghost workers. We'll put, even when their siblings or other people are still working in various other places, they will still say, slot this person's name here, slot this person's name here, so that they still have all these dividends still coming to them at one time. That's greed.
You know, I like when you talk about ghost workers, I don't know how we tend to turn blind eyes to it, because you could see that somebody has about 10 names of different people in a payroll, but these people are not working. They're nowhere. Some of them are just pseudonyms. They are not even real names. They're just like characters in movies, and no, like it's not funny at all. And then at the end of the month, like you said, they get the ghost pay for this ghost.
Some of them even use this as a form of savings. Every month they have that particular account there. That money is going there. Like, yes, there's one account and the money is going there. Are you working for that money?
It's really bad, and I think for the president to actually be aware or privy to this particular information,
that's no longer new.
Yeah, and then he is talking about it. I think Nigerians will want to see, apart from talking about it, maybe some people that are found wanting should be actually be made a scapegoat, or maybe they should be taken for their actions and inactions, so that it serves as deterrent to others, so that we don't really have to talk about this or deal with this anymore.
I'm telling you. All right, let's go across Africa for news across Africa.
Now the match don't start. Tunde na him first catch coronavirus. Him pass am to Sarah. Sarah go market and she dash Adamu. Adamu carry the virus run come giving children for house. Now so the children carry the virus enter playground. From playground, it can't enter grandpa body. Grandpa take over, pass and giving friends as they shake hand for road. Now so grandpa friends carry coronavirus go their house. Before you know, they don't throw away and give everybody for yard. Now so corona enter box 18 and he say go! My people, if we give coronavirus chance, it go win all of us. Protect yourself and your family. Stay inside your house and make sure say you dey wash your hand with soap and water at least 12 times a day. If you get cough and fever and it dey hard you to breathe, call 0800 026 7662. Corona dey kill. Make we careful o.
Alright, welcome back, and then sorry for that little mix-up. We'll not go across Africa at the moment. We'll now bring it back and then take you to our newspaper review segment, where we'll be taking a look at some headlines from some of the national dailies. And we'd like to begin with you.
Alright, let's take a look at the Daily Trust newspaper this morning. The big headline here: Nigeria's kick as federal government hikes fuel price to 143.8 naira per litre. I saw that. I listened to that news yesterday, and I was like,
when I saw that news that the federal government is no longer responsible for pegging the price of PMS, that it has not been shifted to PPPRA, or is it PPRA that we're saying they are no longer responsible?
Yeah, PPPRA.
That there is now being shifted to independent marketers. I knew that something like this is going to come, but in as much as maybe they might be shifting responsibilities at the moment, the government does not. We don't want the government to totally wash her hands of these things, so that there can be some regulation, so that we know some of those things. If not, at the end of the day, to bring untold hardship on citizens.
You said the truth. The only thing I could do yesterday when I heard the news, I was like,
fuel is one thing that actually have effect on every other thing in the country. Once the fuel goes up, even somebody that is doing anything
can go up.
will tell you.
Even the people that sell probably soda drinks in his store, they can increase the price of that drink because
they will tell you the fuel
has gone up. It's just like saying dollars has gone up. All right, below that, you are overburdening citizens. That's coming from NLC. Transporters Chamber of Commerce DIFA. Revive refineries to save sector. That's coming from experts. Above the nameplate, suspend plan to employ 774,000 Nigerians. National Assembly tells Buhari. We talked about that earlier. Beside that, poultry farmers in Dalama over input costs. That's on page 32 of the Daily Trust newspaper. Flights resume in Lagos, Abuja, July 8th. That's coming from Sirika. You can read that on page 7. Below the picture nameplate, COVID-19. The poor will get poorer. That's coming from Buhari. You can get that on page 4 of the Daily Trust newspaper. Court remands Kano rapist. Court remands Kano rapist. That's on page 7 of the Daily Trust newspaper. Now take this last one. Despite COVID-19, banks open 35 million accounts in 5 months. 35 million accounts opened in 5 months.
Wow.
Despite COVID-19. Wow. All right, that's all for the Daily Trust newspaper.
Somebody was telling me about the policy by some of those financial institutions that actually allow you to open an account with your phone without going to the bank.
Yes.
So I think that's yielded this much result.
Probably.
It's
So
good.
people just sit at the comfort of their homes.
If you see the way the person was actually introducing it to me, that don't worry, you can be depositing your money from there, make transfer to the account, and your money is intact. He was now trying to tell me the advantages of it, whereby, okay, you don't have an ATM for you, you'll not be tempted to touch the money, so that's like his own savings.
Okay, so you just open the account from the comfort of your home and then nothing more.
Yeah, you start depositing money there, and then you don't have access to it, like easily. Not like regulation from the bank, but on your own.
On your own.
Then they tend to put some discipline in you so that you now have some savings.
Like those ghost workers we're talking about, so they will not have this kind of account. They'll just open it in their house and it just makes it easier.
You provide your BVN if you do that. All right, away from that, let's take a look at the Punch newspaper, and we have some interesting headlines here. I think the banner headline here is talking about what almost all the papers has this morning, talking about the 774,000 workers recruitment. FG, National Assembly flex muscles, federal lawmakers dare Buhari. That story can be found on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. You can only probe, you can't order executive. Minister replies legislator. I told you about that earlier on. And then we have powers to suspend exercise. Federal lawmakers tell Buhari's. This is more like power play, back and forth movement we talked about earlier on. All right, and then below the picture story, petrol price hit 143.8 naira. Stakeholders push for total deregulation. Over 300,000 PVC in Ondo uncollected. That is coming from INEC. And then when statistics like this or information like this are being put out, what happens at the end of the post is that we expect the statistical bodies and everybody to actually make reference to this when they're analyzing the result, especially when they tell you they have so many registered people and then invalid vote and all of that. They need to do the checks, and then then probably include the people that did not collect their vote.
True.
That will actually bring some level of clarity to our polls.
You have a very solid point there.
Okay, Lagos ex-convict rapes housewives made to spite husbands and bosses. Quite a sad one. And now we have some other headlines above the nameplate. We'll just take a look at them briefly before we move on to the next paper. EU opens borders to 15 countries, exclude Nigeria, US, others. That is European Union, excluding US, Nigeria, and other countries.
Why Nigeria?
Why US?
Why Nigeria?
All right, Captain Balarabe engaged me to cut Wadume's handcuffs. That is coming from Weather, and that story is on the page 9 of the Punch newspaper. Beside that, domestic flight resumed in Lagos, Abuja, July 8. The earlier publication we took a look at stated that as well. And then finally from this publication, before we move on to the next one, many Nigerians risk sliding into extreme poverty. That is coming from President Muhammadu Buhari.
Yeah, even in the last newspaper I just took, it was there.
You can pick a copy of the Punch newspaper to get the details of these stories and even more.
All right, let's take a look at the Business Day newspaper this morning. The big headline here: why we are against increasing electricity tariff now. That's coming from the discourse. You want to know why? We can get a hold of that on page 30 of the Business Day newspaper. Beside that, COVID-19. Nigeria turns to precision lockdown to halt mounting community transmission. That's on page 30. Inside the newspaper, Zenith Bank ranked #1 bank in Nigeria by Tier 1 capital. Wow. Congratulations to Zenith Bank there. That's on page 2 of the Business Day newspaper. And below that, Osibanjo to lead consultation on electricity tariff increase today. That's today being the 2nd of July 2020. That's on page 2 of the Business Day newspaper. And that does it for the front headlines of the Business Day newspaper.
And we'll now move on to the Daily Sun with this headline. We take it from top to the bottom. Beside the nameplate, enemies want to split Igbo ahead 2023 race, says Nwodo, Ezeife, others. Hail CAC for the registering splinter group. I wanted to talk about that yesterday.
Yesterday we remember we were talking about citizens. Are there no protocols that they follow before registering?
Thank God that CAC has actually come out to talk about the registering at the splinter group. And now domestic flights resume July 8. Shocker, waiver for looters on the way. When we're talking about fight against corruption be strengthened, and then we're seeing that looters are going to be having a waiver pretty soon. And
pretty very soon.
And somebody may begin to wonder, but I think you may want to understand why this is coming. The essence of maybe having this just to motivate people to return all the looted funds that's actually in their custody, to return it back. Recall that I think something like that was actually in place when Buhari took over initially, when they said they gave a particular time frame for people. If you know you have any money in your coffers that's not for you, return it before the anti-graft agency clamp down on you. And also, all right, Senate initiate moves to repatriate illicit funds, summons EFCC, CBN, Finance Minister, others. And below the picture story is actually talking about, it's all about a protest here. And then below that, 774,000 planned jobs. NAS fights back, halt public works program. That can be found on page 6 of the Daily Sun. You can pick a copy of the Daily Sun for details of these stories and even more.
All right, moving to the Guardian newspaper this morning. Public water system fails as government spends billions. FCT, Kano, Kogi, Kebbi, Oyo, others hit by shortage. Lagos needs 540 million gallons, produces 210 million. Only 10,000 Enugu residents access potable water. No water supply in Abia since 2007. So what have they been using? Okay. You can get to read all of that on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. Floor price hits 143.80 naira per litre, labor fumes. Pressure will be mounted on government at appropriate time. Experts restate call for deregulated downstream sector. That's the whole of that story is on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. Below that, coronavirus becoming more endemic. WHO cries out.
That's really bad.
True.
Because when it's actually declared as endemic, that means it has come to stay.
Like malaria. All right. Okowa wife tests positive for COVID-19. So now the tests have come out after their...
Yeah, I saw that from the Delta State yesterday.
Yes.
It calls for worries and serious concerns.
That's on page 29 of the Guardian newspaper. And I'll take this last story here. Magic UTME top scorer speaks to the Guardian. Well, you can read that story on page 28 to see how that interview went, and probably you learn one or two about how he became the highest scorer.
Okay.
That's all for the Guardian
Let's take a
newspaper.
quick look at headlines from this day newspaper, and now we take it from top to the bottom. Low prices boost equities markets gain by 1.6 trillion naira in Q2. Healthcare, food, beverages lead gainers. Below that, FG increases petrol price to 143.80 naira for July. That was 143 naira 80 kobo. For
All
July.
Newspapers are carrying it this morning.
Honestly, you can actually see that on the page 6 of this day newspaper. And the banner headline from this day newspaper says, concerns mount in Niger Delta over marginal fields bid round. Stakeholders warn against breach of Yaradua's promise of 10% stake to oil-bearing communities. I remember the amnesty program that the government of late Yaradua actually put in place that actually bring about the ceasefire in the Niger Delta, militancy and everything. So there's actually people are getting wind of a breach of an agreement or promise of 10% stake to oil-bearing communities, and this outside the 13% derivative they actually get from the federal allocation every month. So for peace to reign and for us to actually maintain what's on ground, let there be no breach of this promise or contract.
No breach, not like that whistleblower 20% that the person came out. Like, we don't want to hear things like that.
Okay, below that, angry federal legislator seeks suspension of 774,000 jobs project. Presidency warns public officer against influence peddling. You know, when you were asking if there's been given, if there's any reason given for why the suspension and everything.
Yes.
And I think I said I suspected an issue of anger, and it's coming out in this publication. All right, Buratai rules out dialogue with bandit in Northwest. You can check that on page 5 of this day newspaper. And that's all from this day newspaper.
All right, let's move to the Nation newspaper this morning. Row grows over plan to hire 774,000 for public works. Buhari should suspend the program or go to court, says Senate. Wow. Buhari should suspend the program or go to court. That's coming from the Senate. You can get a hold of that on page 5 of the Nation newspaper. Below that, COVID-19 cases, death highest in June. Can Sultan declare 3-day fasting? Well, we need it at this point in time, actually. Beside that, that's the inside story. Governor Okowa wife tests positive for COVID-19. Delta records highest 166 cases. Oyo releases guidelines for schools. Attack. FMC Lokoja shot as workers begin indefinite strike. That's on page 6 and 8, and you can get more stories on page 6 and 8. Above the nameplate, INEC to publish particulars of Obaseki Ize-Iyamu orders. PDP, governor will reset state for brighter future. Ize-Iyamu, I will do a great combination. That's on page 27. You can get hold of all of that story on page 27 and many more stories from the Nation newspaper this morning. All
right, let's take a look at this. I have right in front of me, and that is the Daily Times. And the banner headline from this publication says, FG increases petrol pump price to 143 naira 80 kobo. Senate malls blocking revenue losses through money laundering and tax evasion. I'm happy this is actually coming from the legislative arm, because the last time we saw something like this happen from the executive arm, where AMCOM was actually sealing some properties, and then we had a serving senator whose property was sealed then.
Sealed as well.
People were trying to read meanings to it, and they were like, is it because it's from opposition and all? But I think it's high time we started looking beyond all of those things and
moving
clamor
our
for
mind.
the right thing to be done at every time. All right, below that, Omar Agbakoba, Falana, Naba, Ezekwesili, Utomi, others float new political movement. Sounds regenerating or reverberating for 2023 already. All right, let's see how that happens. Okay, EFCC arraigns Malabu Oil others over alleged $1 billion money laundering. That's a whole lot of money, $1 billion.
That's for the 774,000 job offers, 5 billion, yeah? 1 billion away, it's just 4 billion left.
$1 billion, right?
$1 billion, it should come out.
World Bank grants Africa to vice president for greater focus. I actually came across that news yesterday when I was listening to APR. It was actually good. National Assembly suspend recruitment of 774,000 workers.
I wonder what will be going through the minds of Nigerians right now each time they come across that news.
Okay, beside the nameplate, ambassadors seek Senate's confirmation, and then we have Asufal's move to reopen schools. You can pick a copy of the Daily Times to check out details of these stories and even more.
All right, then. So
that does it for the newspaper review segment, and it's about our time. We'll go across Africa.
Let's go across Africa for news across Africa.
Welcome to News Across Africa on Daybreak Africa. Lesotho's former First Lady, who was charged with the murder of her husband's estranged wife, was granted bail on Monday after spending 3 weeks in prison. Ms. Tabane was charged in February after police quizzed her over the 2017 staying of former Prime Minister Tabane's wife 2 days before his inauguration. She was controversially freed on bail of $57, but that decision was revoked and she returned to jail on June 3. On Monday, High Court Judge Chasamanga approved bail. Justice Chasanga Ngurukonko said this in ruling that the petitioner has asked him to release her on bail on certain conditions and nothing has been said against those conditions, therefore he accordingly granted her bail on those conditions. Ms. Tabane has been charged with orchestrating the shooting of Lipolelo Tabane, who was brutally gunned down outside her home in Maseru. Police have also charged her for the attempted murder of Lipolelo Tabane's friend Tato Sibola, who was wounded during the attack. Lipolelo and Thomas Tabane had been embroiled in bitter divorce proceedings when the 58-year-old was killed. Now, Congolese President Felix Tshisekedi vowed to root out the corruption and impunity that has hindered the country since its independence from Belgium, as the nation marked its 60th anniversary amid a global reckoning over racial inequality. While the milestone was commemorated in Belgium with gestures of atonement, Congolese reflected on the struggles that have engulfed the nation in the decades since independence and how to move forward. Among the statues being removed around the world as countries confront legacies of slavery and colonialism was one being taken down Tuesday in Belgium of King Leopold II, Congo's brutal colonial ruler. A letter sent to Congo's current president stopped short of an official apology, but Belgium's King Felipe conveyed his deepest regrets for the acts of violence and cruelty and the suffering and humiliation inflicted during the colonial era. The vast mineral-rich country in Central Africa suffered decades of oppression after it was annexed by Belgium in 1908. After independence in 1960, Congo soon fell under the repressive rule of Mobutu Sese Seseko, who ruled for 32 years. The first leader after Mobutu's death was assassinated, and his son, Joseph Kabila, then took over and headed the country for 18 years. Now, Tshisekedi, whose father led Congo's largest opposition party until his death, took office last year, but only after delayed elections were finally held. In a televised speech late Monday, Tshisekedi pledged to root out impunity so that the country could move forward. Senegal is easing some restrictions that had been imposed to curb the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic. In a televised address, President Macky Sall said the country's state of emergency and curfew, which were imposed on March 23, will be lifted as of Tuesday 11 p.m. local time. The president further added that as of July 15, air borders will be reopened to the world and international flights will resume. Nevertheless, land and sea borders will remain closed. These restrictions are being eased to avert an economic fallout. President Sall said of the country's death statistics that the case fatality rate in Senegal is 1.5% compared to an African average of 2.5% and a global average of 5.2%. Senegal has a recovery rate of 64.8% compared to an African average of 48% and a global average of 50%. The West African nation has 6,793 confirmed cases of coronavirus as of June 30 with 108 deaths, 4,431 recoveries. Meanwhile, the Senegalese government continues to take other precautions to stem the spread of the virus. Face masks remain mandatory in public. Schools in Tanzania reopened after 3 months of closure due to the coronavirus. All other levels of schools are now open again following the earlier reopening of universities and certain high schools at the beginning of June. The government, on the other hand, has issued stringent measures to be followed even as schools are reopening to prevent the spread of the novel coronavirus among students. As teachers, we are making sure we are following all the guidelines set by our Ministry of Health in ensuring that we are protecting our students and ourselves as teachers against COVID-19. For example, we are making sure we are wearing masks and also that we have enough clean water tanks with sanitizers in the school compounds. We are also making sure that both teachers and students are respecting 1 meter social distancing in class so as to avoid any spread in case someone has the coronavirus, a teacher said. According to Tanzania's Prime Minister Kassim Majaliwa said, there were 66 COVID-19 patients hospitalized in 10 regions across the country 3 weeks ago. That is the much we have for you on News Across Africa. Daybreak Africa continues shortly.
All right, welcome back from Across Africa right there, where we listen to so many beautiful news coming from the African continent. Yes.
All right. Yesterday we asked a question which was correct among the two statements. I am giving you a leadway or I am giving you a leeway. So later in the program we'll be dishing out replies from our lovely viewers. Meanwhile, our question for today is, which country gifted the Statue of Liberty to the U.S.? You say Which country gifted the Statue of Liberty to the U.S.? That's our question for today. So you can go to our comments section and drop your comments for us, and we'll reveal the winners.
You know, yesterday, the day before, you were talking about we've been going medical.
Yeah.
So I think
now
this
we're going
time
historical.
It's going to put people's historical prowess or knowledge into test.
And tomorrow we are having a special program. Tomorrow, that's our special Friday edition of Daybreak Africa here on Television Nigeria, and we're going to be having with us via Skype, Zoom rather. Susan Lawani, the alleged Benue COVID-19 survivor. We're going to be having her on the program tomorrow with us on Daybreak Africa, so you don't want to miss that. We'll be here by 9 a.m.
Meanwhile, right about now, we take you to our health desk to get some tips on healthy living. And today we're talking about stress management. It's good that way because we've been talking about having some series of stress and then migraines and all. So when you view this, you'll be able to manage your stress more efficiently and well.
Yeah.
Welcome to another episode of Healthy Living. I am Lillian Ambi. Today's topic is stress management. Stress management. If you are living with high level of stress, you are putting your entire well-being at risk. Stress wreaks havoc on your emotional equilibrium as well as your physical health. It narrows your ability to think clearly, function effectively, and enjoy life. Effective stress management, on the other hand, helps you break the whole stress has on your life so you can be happier, healthier, and more productive. The following stress management tips can help you do that. 1. Identify the source of stress in your life. Do you define stress as an integral part of your work or home life, or as a part of your personality? Do you blame your stress on other people or outside events, or view it as entirely normal and unexceptional? Until you accept responsibilities for the role you play in creating or managing it, your stress level will remain outside your control. Secondly, practice the 4 A's of stress management, which are avoid, alter, adapt, and accept. Avoid unnecessary stress. Learn how to say no. Know your limits and stick to them, whether in your personal or professional life. Taking no more than you can handle is a surefire recipe for stress. Distinguish between the shoulds and the musts, and when possible, say no to taking on too much. Avoid people who stress you out. Analyze your schedules, responsibilities, and daily tasks. Alter the situation. If you can't avoid a stressful situation, try to alter it. Often, this involves changing the way you communicate and operate in your daily life. Express your feelings instead of bottling them up. Create a balanced schedule. All work and no play is a recipe for burnout. Try to find a balance between work, family, life, social activities, and solitary pursuits, daily responsibilities, and downtime. Adapt to the stressor. If you can't change the stressor, change yourself. You can adapt to stressful situations and regain your sense of control by changing your exceptions and attitude. Adjust your standard. Perfectionism is a major source of affordable stress. Stop setting yourself up for failure by demanding perfection. Set responsible standards for yourself and others, and learn to be okay with good enough. Practice gratitude. When stress is getting you down, take a moment to reflect on all the things you appreciate in your life, including your possible qualities and gifts. This simple strategy can help you keep things in perspective. Accept the things you can't change. Some sources of stress are unavoidable. You can't prevent or change stressors such as death of loved ones, a serious illness, or a national recession. In such cases, the best way to cope with stress is to accept things the way they are. Acceptance may be difficult, but in the long run, it's easier than ruling against a situation you can change. Third tip, get moving when you are stressed. The last thing you possibly feel like doing is getting up and exercise, but physical activities is a huge stress reliever, and you don't have to be an athlete or spend hours in the gym to exercise the benefits. Exercise releases endorphins that make you feel good, and it can also serve as a valuable distraction from your daily worries. Put on some music and dance around. Fourth tip, connect to others. There is nothing more calming than spending quality time with another human being who makes you feel safe and understood. In fact, face-to-face interaction triggers the cascade of hormones that counteract the body's defensive fight or flight response. It's nature's natural stress reliever. As an added bonus, it also helps stave off depression and anxiety. So make it a point to connect regularly and in person with family and friends. Fifth tip, make time for fun and relaxation. Beyond a take-charge approach and a positive attitude, you can reduce stress in your life by carving out me time. Don't get so caught up in the hustle and bustle of life that you forget to take care of your own needs. Nourishing yourself is necessity, not a luxury. If you regularly make time for fun and relaxation, you'll be in a better place to handle life's stressor. Sixth tip, manage time better. Poor time management can cause a lot of stress. It's hard to stay calm and focused. The good news there is there are things you can do to achieve a healthier work life. Don't overcommit yourself. Avoid scheduling things back to back or trying to fight too much into one day. All too often, we underestimate how long things will take. Seventh tip, maintain balance with a healthy lifestyle. In addition to regular exercise, there are other healthy lifestyle choices that can increase your resistance to stress. Eat a healthy diet. Well-nourished bodies are better prepared to cope with stress, so be mindful of what you eat. Start your day with a great breakfast and keep your energy up and your mind clear with balance. Nutritious meals throughout the day. Avoid alcohol, cigarettes, and drugs. Get enough sleep. Adequate sleep fuels your mind as well as your body. Feeling tired will increase your stress because it may cause you to think irrationally. 8. Learn to relieve stress in the moment. The fastest way to reduce stress is by taking the deep breath and using your senses. What you see, hear, taste, and touch, or through a subtle movement, by viewing a favorite photo or movie, listening to your favorite piece of music. Remember, not all illness are caused by diseases, and not all illness need medicine. All you need to do is to have a happy soul, a happy mind, and always laugh and be happy. Thank you for watching today's episode. I still remain Lillian Ambi. Thank you.
Alright, welcome back from our health desk, and we told you we're going to talk about stress management, and you heard it.
Well, I think basically try to manage everything. Manage your stress life, work, put a balance.
Strike a balance between everything. But I love how the whole package went. It's more like it had a sequence it has to follow.
Yes.
The first tip we were given was like identify the source of the stress.
Know
that's very
where
key.
it's coming from, and then I think it's from there you'll be able to understand how you can balance it up. Okay, probably this time to this time is when I work. Now after this time, what next am I doing? How can I immediately go back to sleep? Like these days, what I do is that after work and all, normally I probably would wait for the 10 o'clock news, but then I would just make do with the 8 o'clock news or 9 o'clock news, and then after that I must have had my bath before then, so that after that I just sleep off. That way when you're getting up the next morning, you feel much better, relieved. But if you start waiting for that 10 o'clock news and it's finishing by 11, and then probably you still have other little things to do,
and then you want to go have your bath,
and again you see that the time is already passed.
That's talking about time management. The tips, there's one of the major tips that was given there, and I love the fact that they were talking about the A's of stress management.
Yeah, you
need to avoid, adapt, and then
the third one. Then accept what you can't change.
Exactly.
So that you don't start boiling your head up.
And she gives some cogent reasons, right? Some cogent example, like the loss of a loved one. You cannot change that.
You can't change that. So don't stress yourself.
National recession, like only you cannot just solve
You call
it.
that prophetic.
That's my degree.
And then exercise, probably night strolls. After work, you just take probably 30 minutes to take a stroll or a walk if you can't really indulge in that.
And she took it deeper when she was talking about the importance of exercise, how it actually helps secrete or release some endorphins that are actually very, very good for your body and all. And then there are some things you mentioned of people to avoid. I saw when you were scribbling that down.
She said we should avoid alcohol and cigarettes. Yes. Avoid it. That's all.
Why pushing it to her? She said we should avoid.
All right, let's go on a quick break and we'll be right back.
Now the match don't start. Tunde na him first catch coronavirus. Him pass am to Sarah. Sarah go market and she dash Adamu. Adamu carry the virus run come give him children for house. Now so the children carry the virus enter playground. From playground, it can't enter grandpa body. Grandpa take over, pass and give him friends as they shake hand for road. Now so grandpa friends carry coronavirus go their house. So before you know, they don't throw away and give everybody for yard. Now so corona enter box 18 and he say goal! My people, if we give coronavirus chance, it go win all of us. Protect yourself and your family. Stay inside your house and make sure say you dey wash your hand with soap and water at least 12 times a day. If you get cough and fever and it dey hard you to breathe, call 0800 026 7662. Corona dey kill. Make we careful
Alright, you're welcome back. You're still watching Daybreak Africa on television Nigeria. Well, I'll take you to our next package,
which is the mysterious river that has claimed many lives here in Abuja, Jiwa.
Close to airport.
Road.
Everyone Everyone talks about the beautiful aspect of nature and want to experience it. But when a mysterious water shows up and starts claiming life, people become worrisome. We're currently at Pape, a suburban area in Abuja, where a mysterious water has been threatening the life of people. Pape is a satellite town situated in the northeast geographical coordinate of Abuja. The town is known to be peaceful and populated with Bagi, the original indigene who first moved to the location, while the town is currently populated with various tribes from all over Nigeria, who have been coexisting peacefully with one another. Alongside the growing population of Pape over the years comes a lot of infrastructural challenges and a lot of vice and criminal activities which have given the town a reputation among the other inhabitants of the Federal Capital Territory, while the absence of physical planning has reduced the outlook of the town to that of a shanty sub.
We are having difficulties of those these violent people, thieves and the rest. They used to collect people's phone in the night. Somebody will just slap somebody and collect his phone. Maybe the person is going to work. They will just snatch his phone from his hand.
Apart from that, what else? Light, security,
road. We don't have road. The building here is not fine. All is somehow building, no road, nothing. Everywhere so tattered, dirty.
Things that used to happen like crime, attack, they used to attack people in the night, especially all those night people, cultists, stealing, break houses.
Stealing, there are cultists around here?
Yeah, there are some cultists around. And they used to break people's houses.
For how long have these people been here?
More than 10 years.
In the midst of the rocky topography, crowded outlook, and the overpopulation which characterizes the hilltop, lies this mysterious lake which legend have it claims human life periodically and which has remained an oversolved puzzle and a point of caution for residents of the town.
It has been there and it has been drowning some people, drown them. When they go there to bath, it will just drown them like that.
Na daɗe da sanin ruwan nan sama da shekara 10 a zuwa na dai gurin nan. A kuma tarihi ruwan nan yana cin mutum a duk shekara. Maybe 1, 2 zuwa abin da ya sauka daidai yana ci domin Allah.
According to local source, the water has been there for over 10 years and it all started as a result of rock blasting activities by construction companies in the area, with the volume of water rising with the increase of rock blasting exercise. Some people, especially motorcycle riders who usually go to wash their bikes and take their bath in groups at the water, has over time been reportedly to have mysteriously disappeared, with their lifeless body discovered several after, making the site, which initially held a form of tourist attraction, a deserted area by residents.
Wannan gurin ni ma kaina gab kuke kotar da ma na ba gurin saboda ni ma kaina tsoron ruwan nan nake. Yasa nake zuwa in yi wanka, in yi wanki na sannan kuma in fice. Da na ga ba kowa ma wankan da wankin na hwasa daga zan.
Kana jin tsoro?
Ina jin tsoro sosai. A duk shekara yana cin mutum. Ni ma ai mutum ne.
And even 2 years ago, it swallowed a very person that I know.
How are you sure that it is actually the water that is swallowing them, or people are not just...
Because people do bath there. They used to bath there. So, in process of swimming, before you know, the water will drag them by force and kill them. Till the next day, the water will now bring the person come up. The water is very deep. It can swallow more than 3 poles long, especially the center of the water.
And you still go there to bathe and sleep?
But I have stopped.
Why did you stop?
Because the place is dangerous.
This water, since when the company has living work here, if any person come to buy, eventually go inside, there's something where they eat person inside every year.
So how come How did this water just? Is it rain that bring the water?
No, it's coming out from ground. Since when the company make hole, it's from the ground. The water is coming out.
Indeed, this is a beautiful tourist site. So many musical videos, movies have been shot here. But due to lack of development, this place is wasting away. And also the mysterious water that claims life. Who wants to come here? The federal government needs to look into this. I'm Zoera Hamza, TVN News.
All right, that was community report right there on a mysterious river that swallows people, kills people. And sorry for initially we say it was at Jiwa community, but
it's at Papi,
not Jiwa community.
Not Jiwa community.
And then if you actually listen to what the people actually said, you discover some actually mysterious. It's kind of mysterious
and strange. The water uses force to drag them into the water and kill them.
I think the one that got me, the one that got me is after 3 days the body now comes out. I heard stories like that about a river in the community. I had my secondary education, and apart from the stories we heard, I was trying to do some own investigation into it based.
Did you have gone there?
Yeah, I went there, and actually I even stepped my foot into the river. I'm very curious and inquisitive, and then I was trying to see behind the or outside the mysterious way people have been explaining that there's this water board there. And you know how water boards operate, where there's this water propeller that actually tends to drag water from the river and all. So I was trying to look at maybe somebody is having his or her bath close to where the water propeller is. When the force from the propeller is trying to drag water inside, it could drag this person in. So it might not really be mysterious.
But there's no water board in this
one. Yeah, I'm just saying.
You know, I asked the question: is the water angry?
Possibly. Like if you want to give in to the African traditional system of way, and you might want to say, where they tend to make sacrifice to some certain things. Even when we're talking about a rock in Abuja here the other day, we had some stuff like that as well. Yeah,
but that at least now they came out to say that rock is even a friendly rock. Anyway, let's go to our next package for today. Between Nigerian jollof rice and the Ghana jollof rice.
I've been hearing the argument for some time. Let's get to hear what that's all about.
All right.
Yes, so good afternoon, everybody. Where they watch me, where they back of television, where sit down, they watch me. Una well done, una too much. I greet una, I truly salute. Yes, once again, this now another episode of Street Creed on Top Television Nigeria. And if you don't know what Street Creed be, Street Creed now the only program where they carry you enter street. They ask some kind of silly question where some people go get, some people go fail. But the point, we say we go catch fun. So yes, my people, if you're not ready to catch fun, we can not go anywhere, we can not change the channel, we can stay tuned. As I enter street now, I'm going to ask my silly questions. I will call them silly questions, but I call them mumu questions. No, now questions will get sense. Mugu. Good afternoon, bro.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah, what's the name now?
My name is Timothy.
Timothy.
Faith, yeah, Faith.
Timothy. But you look so fresh this afternoon.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
I get like 2 questions for you.
All right.
The first one, say, what's the difference between Ghana jollof and Nigerian jollof?
Bros, you won't put me for trouble. You know what I mean? My Ghanaian girlfriend like me again, Abi.
You even get Ghana babes?
I get now.
Everywhere good.
But I don't go lie for it. That their own, they like goosey soup. I don't understand.
Wait,
how jollof rice?
Okay, Nigeria will call like
Nigeria own, they make sense now. At least you go fit counter with hand. But their own, they like goosey soup.
Their own, they like I don't understand it. If you explain, I think they like goosey soup.
It too join now, come tiny, you don't understand. It don't make sense. I go they chop a goosey soup saying rice.
As for me, I don't see anything different. The only difference, now that pepper with the inside.
Inside which one? Nigeria?
Inside Ghana jollof, everything there is all about pepper. Apart from that, I don't see anything that is there that is.
Okay, Ghanaians they like pepper where?
Then the way they say, and even the way then they bring for yourself, go confirm them now. Yeah. They too like pepper. Whether not pepper be their.
So I'm saying Ghanaian jollof and Yoruba jollof, would they like the same thing? Because Yoruba people like pepper.
My brother, I feel resemble because wait to take no Yoruba na pepper.
Na pepper.
So the thing will resemble well.
Okay.
First of all, the taste.
Taste?
Yes.
Okay.
The taste is the difference. When you come to Ghana jollof rice, they are using some ingredients. So some kind of ingredient like garlic. But when it comes to Nigeria's jollof rice, like some things like coconut. So they say the taste is the difference.
The difference.
Yeah.
The taste.
Taste,
Okay. Thank
yeah.
you very much. Okay, sister, I beg, what be the difference between Ghana jollof and Nigerian jollof?
I don't know.
You say? You don't know wetin?
Nigeria jollof and
Okay, wait.
Ghana jollof.
You never chop Ghana jollof before?
And Nigeria jollof na make have a for my own side. Though.
For your own side, but you don't chop the
But
two.
which one can be Ghana jollof? Na Nigeria jollof na be the best.
Yeah. Yes, so my people. But so far so good. The interviews then they go crazy, they go well, they mad. And my people know my own go lost. Why we still interview people? I want buy granuts. Yeah, madam, put on well. You go put jara. Oh. Just you put two cups. This madam like me. She put 2 cups for 1 cup money. Bro, fun.
Hey, everywhere good, my guy.
Don't be lie. What's up?
Let me go hold the mic. I been I go hold the mic.
These bros come with ginger. Oh,
I did.
What's your name, man?
My name is White.
White.
Yeah.
More white. This is one where your lips come pink.
Now so now.
You are white, but your lips is pink.
Based on logistics now, you know understand. Just do one or two.
I get
capture, ba.
Of course, I will fire my final capture. I get like 2 questions for you. The first one be say, what be the difference between Ghana jollof and Nigerian jollof?
Oh boy.
You chop granuts?
Keep the granite first. Ma reason the matter first. You say Ghana jollof and Nigeria jollof. You know say our own jollof. Why is say be like be say we our own red oil now we dey made them.
Okay,
and now we they made the oil.
Okay, we they made them.
And the one where they use for there, they chemical them.
The chemical
and they import them again. You know understand?
Import from Nigeria.
Yes, then they no get oil there now. Okay. Now our oil that they use there. So our own is the best.
Okay, then they import oil to use.
To use. Okay. Our own is the best.
Sure. Bros, well done.
Oh, yeah.
You're a Ghanaian?
Yeah, sure.
You're from Ghana?
Yeah.
Wow, that's very nice.
West Coast.
I'm David. You say your name is Kofi?
No, my name is Ano Alfred.
Ano Kofi?
No, Ano Alfred.
Ano Alfred Kofi?
No, not Kofi.
Okay, Kofi no dey your name?
No, Kofi no.
I just say Kofi dey every Ghana person.
No, not Kofi now.
Okay, Kofi no dey your name?
No.
Okay, I beg, which kind, Ghana jollof rice and Nigerian jollof rice, which one you prefer?
That depend on the cooking of the system of the rice, depend on the cooking. But Ghana rice is okay.
But which one you prefer?
I prefer like Ghana rice because there's not too much of ingredient and this tomatoes and this rubbish thing.
My people, now Ghanaian person be this, into saying prefer Ghana rice because the ingredients not too much, tomato rubbish things. So all those Nigerian people who call here, they toss in the Nigerian rice they prefer. Hear it from a Ghanaian person.
Sure.
So Nigerian rice is rubbish.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, well done.
I think.
Bro, so they look really fresh this afternoon.
How good do I now?
So, and the water where yours it take.
As very just chilled water now.
It chilled.
It should.
Maybe like, bro, I get one simple question for you.
Okay, no.
Yeah, what is the difference between Ghanaian jollof and Nigerian jollof?
No, Nigerian jollof, you know, say Nigerian jollof get packaging, and it is natural.
Okay.
But Ghanaian jollof, it makes sense, but it no reach Nigerian jollof.
You know which? Okay, Ghanaian jollof no reach Nigerian.
You no reach Nigerian jollof at all. And Nigerian jollof now be the best.
Now be the best.
Yeah.
You sure?
Very sure because I don't go Ghana, I don't taste Ghana jollof. Okay. And now they Nigeria, so I know the difference between Nigerian jollof and Ghana jollof. Okay. So Nigerian jollof now very perfect stuff.
Very perfect.
Very, very perfect.
Okay. And the way where these bros sound, you know they sound like person where they joke or where they lie. They're very serious. Nigerian jollof is perfect.
Well, you know Nigerian jollof they carry, you know Okpe.
Okpe.
You know Okpe very well.
I know Okpe.
So that is the difference.
Okay, Nigerian jollof they carry Okpe.
They carry Okpe well.
Ghanaian jollof they carry. Okay, like just the Okpe be the difference.
The Okpe and the red oil. The red oil they mash well.
Okay, Nigerian jollof red oil they match.
The red oil they match
not oil.
Yes.
Okay. But which one is sweet pass?
Nigerian jollof now.
Nigerian. Why?
Yes.
Is it because you're Nigerian?
Because of the Okpe.
Because of the you like Okpe?
I like Okpe.
His bros loves Okpe. You too much, bros. That's Yeah, so my people, we see the street, and as we the interview, I've been seeing this young man, they observe me from one corner. As I talking, they laughing, they nod head, then they jump. And I say, okay, let me interview him, and I've catch him. Big boy, how are you?
Fine.
What's your name?
Daniel.
Daniel.
Yes.
Do you like rice? You like rice? You eat rice very well.
Wow. I can't just help but keep laughing.
Them the chemical
they made them. They bought them. that was on the hook, man, if you ask me.
Yeah. But then ask me after this, which would be better, Nigeria jollof rice or Ghana jollof rice?
I can tell when I was discussing that with you, Offset, I discovered they were trying to have pity on the Ghanaians. When you're trying to be considerate, maybe...
Yes. Imagine the other person that he was a Ghanaian and he said Nigeria rice is rubbish.
No, he said
no,
too many ingredients, tomatoes and the other rubbish.
Let's not talk about that.
Well, that was strict creed right there on Nigerian versus Ghana
jollof rice. All right, our question for today still remains, which country gifted the Statue of Liberty to the US? Yeah. That's our question for today. And we have a guest tomorrow.
Yes.
A special edition of the Daybreak program. Tomorrow is Friday. That's in person of Susan Lawani, the alleged the Benue COVID-19 survivor. She will be with us via Zoom.
Exactly.
Tomorrow morning on Daybreak Africa on television. Nigeria.
We'll go for a quick break, and then as we prepare for the comment from our lovely viewers concerning the question of the day yesterday, and then when we return, we'll dish that out and then we'll proceed.
Now the match don't start. Tunde na him first catch coronavirus. Him pass am to Sarah. Sarah go market and she dash Adamu. Adamu carry the virus run, come give him children for house. Now so the children carry the virus enter playground. From playground, it can't enter grandpa body. Grandpa take over, pass and give him friends as they shake hand for road. Now so grandpa friends carry coronavirus go their house. Before you know, they don't throw away and give everybody for yard. Now so corona enter box 18 and he say go! My people, if we give coronavirus chance, it go win all of us. Protect yourself and your family. Stay inside your house and make sure say you dey wash your hand with soap and water.
All right, welcome back. Concerning our question of the day for yesterday, which was, I am giving you a leadway or I am giving you a leeway. Which one is correct? We have some comments ready.
All right. This is coming from Chichi Ibenye. She said B. That is, I am giving you a leeway. That's correct. And she's like, where's my gifts? Now, this is coming from Atta Vincent. He said, B. I am giving you a leeway. That's also correct.
Atta Vincent is always commenting.
Our top fans there. All right, and this is coming from Dixon Innocent. He also replied with B, which is correct. I am giving you a leeway. And then this is also coming from Gideon Unazi. He also commented B, which is correct. I am giving you a leeway. So we have two winners, the first and the second person, which is Chichi Ibenye and Atta Vincent.
Wow.
Congratulations on your book.
Don't forget to send in your comment for today's question. Which country gifted the Statue of Liberty to the US?
Yes.
We'll be reading the comments for tomorrow and we'll be announcing the winners for tomorrow.
All right, that's the much we can take today on Daybreak Africa here on television, Nigeria. My name is Mercy Joe.
I'd like to say a very big thank you for being part of the program this morning. Join us tomorrow for another explosive edition. We already heard that we'll be having a guest on the show tomorrow. Until we come your way again, my name is Elvis Oga. Do have yourself a lovely day.
Yes.